hear of the term the Cold War?
I think so. I was about like 9, 10 year old at that time. Hear the word Cold War.
So did your relatives or friends ever express any foreign fears?
Not in front of me, but I can always sense that they are scared or they're always worried about okay, what will happen next. So yes, definitely I could sense something.
What type of
When I was young, and being in India, India was, of course, very close to Russia. It was a Cold War. We were far away from America. But again, with America as a kid, I used to see like as a love and hate relationship because America at that time also, many of my uncles and basically my father's friend, they went for higher education, and these American universities at that time also used to attract the best brain from the country. So a lot of respect for the America, but contrary other side, when you see the war side, we used to have Russian weapons, and Russia were helping us, not America. So as a kid, we always used to think, what is going on here? And gradually, when I graduated, I got a job, I became the computer engineer, and then I started learning about all American companies and all. So I have a lot of respect about the companies, the innovation they did, and the opportunities they created for the world. And gradually, you see that as the economy got opened more and more from our side, we became so close to America, and it became a more technology-driven environment, and we got so much of opportunity.
The Cold War really shaped my entire youth because it was underway from when I was born and through all my whole education and early adulthood and everything. It was so. I'm a product of the Cold War, basically. As I mentioned before, my dad was an Air Force officer, and he flew with Strategic Air Command, carrying many megatons of nuclear weapons on a typical mission. And in my youth, we'd get the phone would ring at 3 in the morning, and my dad would dash off, and we wouldn't see him for 3 weeks at a time because some sort of alert had been called. And so he'd be rushed out to get his bomber, take off, and he'd fly up to some place where they'd stage him, like Lakenheath, England. He went once, and they kept him there for 3 weeks. And every day for 3 weeks, he went out, flew to the border of the Soviet Union, and orbited around and waited for the order to go in and blow up Moscow. And he never got the order, but he was ready doing that. And when he was on the ground, some other plane was up there. So there's always somebody in the air ready to go. And the life for us at home while it was happening was, whenever the phone rang, we never knew if it was a drill or if it was actually World War III. That kind of makes life a little tense and a little tentative. As a young child, I was given dog tags, which had my name and identifying information to wear all the time, so that when we lived on an Air Force base there, after the nuclear holocaust came, they'd be able to identify the remains. So that was just part of life, is that we were expecting to be blown to bits at any given moment. We had duck and cover drills at school. If you see the flash, the nuclear weapon, what do you do? And they were all, of course, silly. There's no way you can protect yourself dashing under a desk if there's 50 megatons going off nearby. But we went through all that sort of stuff. People dug bomb shelters and lived generally with the notion that the Soviet Union was an evil place and that they were out to destroy us, and that we had to do everything we possibly could to threaten them sufficiently with their assured destruction that they would not have the nerve to attack us. But all through my youth, the undercurrent everywhere was that we were on the brink of destruction. And my father was one of those who was charged with providing a deterrent to that destruction. So it was a constant presence all the way. So it had that general tone setting for life at that time. And it had lots of other implications too. It led to the space race, which sort of steered me into doing scientific things instead of being an architect. And it shaped the culture all around me. It shaped my view of the world and of morality and of the craziness of governments.